insane trip that has ever been.
People have always found ways to push the limits, to search for adventure, break previous records, and explore new places. We have achieved things impossible to other species and have drastically altered the way we interact with the environment. We have reached greater heights, greater depths, further distances, and faster speeds. Therefore, it's no surprise that we crave competition. Outdoor sports and activities have been an important aspect of human society for most of history, dating back to ancient Greece in 776 BC with the first Olympic Games. This event is recorded to have included games like racing, wrestling, jumping, and throwing. Today, many cultures still value sports for reasons including entertainment, physical activity, teamwork, and rivalry. According to a study published in the 2013 International Journal of Behavioral Nutrition and Physical Activity, there is significant evidence of many different psychological and social health benefits of participation in sport. Outdoor activities especially can help foster relationships with the environment and the idea of being a part of nature rather than against it, because it is crucial to conserve the natural spaces in which these activities take place. If people care about skiing and boarding, or fishing and canoeing, they will also care about the melting of ice caps and snowbanks, and the conservation of oceans and rivers.
I've committed my adult life to being a professional snowboarder, and I've never thought about, it ending for any other reason than me being done. But now it's starting to, the access is going away, and it's hard.
But the truth is that this continual use of natural resources, coupled with the negative effects of climate change, is resulting in severe ecological degradation and loss. So how do we balance our love for these natural spaces and their recreational use with their protection and conservation? One case study that demonstrates this dilemma is the climbers of Mount Everest. Towering at over 29,000 feet and the highest mountain on the planet, Mount Everest is a symbolic trophy to climbers all around the world. It requires years of preparation and training to even attempt to climb its peak. Despite this, almost 35,000 people visit the base camp per year, causing large human impact in the area. Tourism alone contributes thousands of pounds of human waste annually, impacting the local water supply. Climbers often have to wait hours at certain points along the way because it is so crowded. Despite local efforts to clean up the peak, empty oxygen tanks and bodies of deceased climbers line the track for years because there is no effective way of bringing them down the mountain.
Everest is a great example. We were fortunate to climb with some different Sherpas that had been on the mountain for 20 years. To them, the route has changed completely.
Still, people continue to climb Mount Everest because it holds a special meaning, a deep connection to the earth that only comes from pushing personal limits and being part of something stronger and greater than oneself. But this is becoming harder to justify as the environmental impacts of this popular expedition become more pressing. I personally have felt torn on this issue because of my love for skiing. It is something that I grew up doing with my family and became an opportunity for me to appreciate nature and the magic of winter. I feel simultaneously strong and insignificant on a mountain that has existed for millions of years before me. The problem is that I am not the only one. Others are drawn to the snow and the thrill of the sport, as demonstrated at the 2017 X Games in Aspen, Colorado, which attracted more than 100,000 people to watch and participate in the winter sports competition. Unfortunately, this generated huge amounts of waste, traffic, and automobile pollution from the natural community. It also required resorts, tons of electricity, and other resources to accommodate the crowd. Although it is likely that most people at the Games would say they cared about the environment and protecting the natural spaces they interact with, the reality is that nature is no match for our current global human impact. A positive result of these gatherings, however, is that they provide a platform for the sporting industry and recreational parks to spread awareness about environmental issues. The National Resources Defense Council is working with the NHL, NFL, X Games, and others to make games more sustainable through the Green Sports Alliance. Companies like the North Face and the International Olympic Committee use promotional campaigns and celebrity endorsement to raise awareness about climate action and human impact on the environment.
Environment is very fundamental for sportsmen and for athletes because, you know, it's the support of our sport. And whatever you paddle, you run, you walk, you climb, you are living the environment. And this is in a positive manner. So I think for me sport has a key role to play to raise the awareness about environment because one more time, it's not about constraint, it's about living. And if we want everyone to be involved in this engagement, I think sport has his responsibility to play.
The answer is not to shy away from engaging in outdoor sports and activities. I think it rather lies in changing the consumer perspective that everything needs to be bigger, better, and more immediate. I argue that we can still enjoy natural spaces in ways we are passionate about in a sustainable way without reaping all that it has to offer. According to an article in the Journal of Psychology, engaging with nature triggers personal changes in courage and humility, and thus the way one views the natural world.
If you are that 99 percentile that kind of is just staying to your zone, enjoying your life, you're not going to see those changes or realize how much they're going to affect our way of life until it hits you. You know, no one's going to change what they do until it starts affecting them. I understand why people don't get it.
In another study, which included interviews with different athletes, a common perspective shared by the participants was that they gained a greater awareness that humanity is connected to the natural world through activity. This kind of positive relationship can only help in the fight to preserve the environment for as long as possible. But you don't need to be an athlete to have this kind of connection with nature. Perhaps next time you're outdoors, think about how you personally can continue to have a relationship with natural spaces through doing the things you love, while also protecting them from further ecological damage. In the words of Conrad Anker, a respected rock climber, mountaineer, and author,
our generation is now the one generation that understands climate change and also can do something about climate change. And we're at this key point. So we either sit and let things go by, or do we get up and make things happen? Do we take action? Do we make change for the better? I think we can.